everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are cleaning the entire house in one day, and it was not clean to start. This wasn't one of those like your house is clean, you're just wiping things down. No, we're actually doing a deep clean of the entire house, every single bedroom, 3 bathrooms, and we're just gonna have this place looking nice. We have visitors coming for 4th of July, and plus for my sanity, I just really need to get it cleaned. But you know what? It's summer. We're gonna give ourselves grace. It got to be a hot mess because we were having fun creating memories and just living our best lives, being outside every second that we can, being at the beach, being at the bay, paddle boarding, just all of it. We also got a little above ground pool for the kids. So we've been busy having fun and making memories. So it's okay to, have messes like this, but it's time now to clean them up. So let's get started. The first thing we're doing is taking off the sheets in my bedroom. All right, before we can throw anything into the washer, I need to go ahead and switch the laundry, and this is your time to comment. What are you holding off on doing right now? One thing that I'm holding off on doing is my closet. I showed you in the beginning and I ordered new hangers for it, but they didn't come until after I was done filming this video. But in my next video, I'll probably do like a get it all done, and we definitely need to tackle the closet together. I have clothes here from last summer and previous summers, and it's just a hot mess right now. I also have really chunky hangers, and that's why I ordered new thinner ones, because although the chunky ones I have are very pretty, they're taking up a lot of space because my husband and I share a closet here, and it just needs a lot of love. So that's something I'm putting off, but I promise that I'm going to put it in my next get it all done video. What is something that you've been putting off? We're also throwing a quick little lunch meal prep in here because I was already cooking before I started cleaning. And I don't think I've updated on here. I think I updated on Instagram, but my thyroid levels are finally in check. For all my Hashimoto's girls or anybody that has thyroid issues, my TSH was 19, which makes you basically feel like you're dead and you have zero energy. And now it's below 1. So eating is the only thing I changed. I added 3 new supplements, and my diet has changed tremendously. I have a slow release carb with every meal, so usually that's sweet potato or quinoa. You can do like buckwheat, brown rice, but quinoa and sweet potato are like my 2 go-tos. So it has actually made meal prepping a little bit easier because it is so limited. I also found out what my allergens were. I will say that's a huge part too, and it was not cheap. The test was like $500, but to make your body be better, as in like how you feel, and also when your thyroid's messed up, it could start to mess up other parts of your body. So I guess it was worth it, but it wasn't cheap. And I found out that I have a +3, which was my highest. I think it can go up even higher, like +4 and 5 reactions, but all my reactions were +3s, and the biggest things were milk and eggs, and surprisingly black pepper, which is in basically everything. So I took milk and eggs out, which has not been easy, like waking up eating ground meat for breakfast. My kids make fun of me because we feed my dog's farmer's dog, and they're always like, Mom, did you have your farmer's dog yet? But eating has been, what am I trying to say here? I feel inspired to keep eating the way that I'm eating since I am healing and feeling much better. My blood work shows it. So for this lunch, I just made ground chicken, and I'm going to season it with, I was going to say salt and pepper, I'm sorry saying that, but no pepper, salt and garlic. And then I'm making these cucumbers. I wanted to do like those like Asian cucumbers that have sesame oil, but I didn't have any sesame oil, so I'm just using coconut aminos, real sesame seeds, and red pepper, lime juice, and I did a little bit of honey and rice vinegar as well. And they're delicious. I love having this. So a big tip is that if there's something that you really enjoy, for example, I really love like peanut sauces on things, meal prep with sauces that you like, because that can definitely help you. And there's like a clean version of every sauce you like. You just got to try it out. So some cucumbers I cut up for the kids, and then this is for me for this little cucumber salad. Also, you may notice my little nails. I got my nails done here by the bay, and I usually get gel, like builder gel on my nails. And I asked for that, but they started using acrylic, and I was too scared to say anything. So I just let them use it, and then I felt like I was suffocating. I had to take these nails off. So basically, yeah, I ripped my nails off, and I love how good they feel. They're all breaking, so don't get me wrong, they're breaking and they look terrible, but I feel like my nails can breathe. So I'm just feeling like I'm just gonna continue to give myself a break for a little bit from nails. I ordered some nail polish and stuff to just like paint my nails regularly, but I just need a break from any type of anything on my nails, like gel or definitely not acrylic. I just felt like my nails were suffocating, and now I feel like they're breathing. Side note, I'm making myself a little decaf cold brew. Oh, that's another thing. I had to take out caffeine because I have reactive hypoglycemia, and I was basically just like anytime I'd have caffeine was spiking my cortisol, which would then spike my blood sugar, and it was a hot mess. So yeah, these are all the things that I've changed. And the thing is, people can ask you like, do you have any tips on how to, manage my thyroid? After I shared my blood work, I got a lot of messages like that. The truth is, you do got to figure out what's bothering you. So mine was my allergens. I took those out, and caffeine. And that being said, how many people do you know that are actually going to cut out the things that are giving them a reaction? Who's going to cut out black pepper? That means basically going to dinner with your family and not really being able to eat most things that you would eat. It means making sacrifices to heal. Caffeine, who can go without caffeine? I withdrew from caffeine so bad. It was terrible. I had such a migraine. I was dry heaving on the second day. It was terrible. But all that being said, you do really have to want to heal because it's not easy, and it's, a lot of work, and you can't give in to temptation and all of it. So moving on from the thyroid talk, we are going to clean out our fridge. We do wind up getting an order from BJ's. I will say, I know it's close to the 4th of July, but when we order from Costco, they usually have 99% of things. We ordered from BJ's this time, and there was like, they were out of everything. It felt like all the fruit and stuff. So now I'm gonna have to go to the regular grocery store anyway. But I didn't show that in this video, but we did order stuff from BJ's, and I just wanted to get the fridge ready for that. All right, now that the fridge is done, we are finally getting to these dishes. I didn't even want to start it because the kids were eating lunch, and I saw Chris made them spaghetti and meatballs and stuff, so I was like, there's really no reason. I'll start with cleaning out the fridge because I wanted to throw stuff away and empty the garbage. And now we're finally tackling these dishes. I'm putting the things I need to hand wash to the side and then just loading up the dishwasher. Now on to scrubbing the sink. You know that I don't want to complain because I'm so grateful that we have this house and it's my favorite spot, it's my happy place. But I do miss having a garbage disposal. I will say that. Anyway, emptying all that junk out of there, and then we're gonna scrub the sink. And I'm just using Barkeeper's Friend. It really is the best. I'm so happy that I asked about, what gets rust out, because you guys told me, and then I wound up seeing that on the sticker. It literally says takes rust out, because I had like a metal sponge holder in here that made it like rusty. So that got all the rust out, and then you'll see later I wind up using it in the downstairs bathroom. There was a rust spot on the counter, and it actually took it out, which was very exciting because little things like that annoy me. The washer is done, so I'm just hanging my blanket outside. You will see lots of random portions of laundry because basically it's an ongoing process of doing laundry all day, every day. Starting the dishwasher, you'll see me put all this away a little bit later in the video, but starting that, and then I'm going to dry off everything that I hand washed and put that away so we can start out with clean countertops. Moving on to the cooktop here, this needed a lot of love. I love the grates on this because they just are connected and then you can push them up to clean underneath. I really like that, but I'm not taking them off. I'm just cleaning while they're on here, and then we're gonna go ahead and clean underneath them, get off all the crumbs and whatever else is on there, and get them nice and clean and shiny. The key to getting everything really shiny is drying everything off with a dry microfiber cloth. That really gets everything nice and shiny if you have the time. Same thing if you have like a metal sink. I didn't have the energy to do it because I know I use my sink every 2 seconds, but if you want your sink to look extra nice, just go ahead and buff it out with a microfiber cloth. But if you're like me and you're constantly using your sink, there's really no point. By the way, happy July, guys. This is my favorite month. I live for July. It's my birthday month. That's not why it's my favorite month. I just always, since being a child, have loved July. It's just my favorite. So just quickly filling out our July calendar, which feels amazing because there's like a total of 4 things on there, which makes me so happy because we start homeschool back up in August. We have a lot of things that we actually need to be at our, where we have our community days at. So we are back and forth a lot in August, but I'm refusing to have summer end there, but there is just a lot more going on in August. finally, I feel like I told my husband, I was like, sometimes when I'm trying to clean the kitchen, it feels like sweeping the ocean. Like, pointless, right? But anyway, meals are done for right now, and I'm using a hot microfiber cloth, a wet and hot, obviously, to wipe everything down before I go ahead and spray it down. This is much better than just spraying things, and the hot and the microfiber just gets like off anything sticky that's stuck on your chairs, your counters, all of it. So I always like to do that first before I go ahead and wipe it down with the spray. Same with my appliances. Moving on to our little dining area, I wouldn't call it a room, but it's where we have our table, just cleaning up the markers and papers. We decided to have a no screen July, and the kids agreed to it. That's how you know, like, sometimes they feel addicted to it the same way that if our phones are in the room, we're going to check it. It's the same way if they're allowed to have an iPad. So, this isn't saying anything bad about people that let their kids have screen time, because usually we do too. But we all needed a little detox, and especially now that we have the pool outside, there's plenty for them to be doing. So I've noticed already that they're drawing more, they're being creative, they make funny little videos, they are outside more. It's just so much better. We did say that they can go on Tuesdays and Saturdays for an hour and a half and they play their game, but still it's so much better, because I was starting to feel like a bad mom. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I need to get anything done, that means my kids have to just rot on screens, and then it makes me feel guilty. So this is just way better. I'm like, I don't have to feel like this. We can make changes as a family. They all agreed to it and they all kind of wanted it. So let's see how long we last for. But I really enjoy, like, they're just like all getting along better and playing. They have more patience. They're not zombies, and it's working out so far for our family. So I highly encourage it. If as a family, if you feel like you're all having too much screen time, put your cell phone somewhere in another room, have the kids take their, only have certain times that they can go on screens at least, not just a free-for-all where they can go on whenever they want. Just quickly finishing up the living room, I should mention I saw Carter watching TV. It's not like TV free, it's iPad free, so it's screen free in that way. But if they're watching something as a family, and plus they're all so into the World Cup, so we watch that as a family as well. But anyway, that couch, guys, I need to clean it again. We just washed everything, but I think it's mostly like the dogs and everything. But I bought like a fabric spray cleaner, and that'll be in my next video as well. I have a little shampooer, and I plan to just attack it with the shampooer instead of taking everything off again. But now we're cleaning the guest room. I have some of my siblings coming to stay with me for 4th of July, so I want everything to be perfect and nice and clean for them, because the guest room is usually like the kids hang out. They love hanging out in here, so it needed to be cleaned, and we washed the blankets and everything and the sheets, so doing that so that it's nice. You'll notice multiple times that Benny does not care if you're trying to make a bed. It's his bed and he should be able to lay on it. That's how he feels about everything in this house. But good thing he's so stinking cute. All right, so I always get excited when I see these sales on these comforters. I bought this comforter last summer and I loved how beachy it was. I bought myself a comforter for upstairs for our bedroom on Amazon. Again, super affordable, like 30 bucks. But they're messing with me. I swear they're shrinking because they fit initially and I'm just like, okay, this is why they're on sale because they shrink. Even if I don't put it in the dryer, I swear it just doesn't sit right. You'll see when we make my bed upstairs, the same thing. So I guess if I'm gonna buy like a cheap Amazon blanket, maybe I should get a California King so that it has like more space, or I could just stop buying cheap Amazon blankets. But I like to change out my blankets. So has anybody else had this happen, or am I just going crazy? Finally, it is time to go ahead and vacuum this room. So I'm just doing a quick vacuum. And what's really cool is that I recently had a bunch of vacuum sponsorships. Thank you, God, for gifting me those sponsorships. So I have multiple vacuums at this Bay house currently. So this black vacuum can actually stay in the guest room. The white one can stay in the living room area. And then I have a robot vacuum for upstairs and a robot vacuum for downstairs. We're going to actually bring some back with us when we go back home in the fall, which I can't even talk about without feeling nauseous because this is just like my happy place. I swear all winter long, I just dream about being back here in the summer. And it's not the same in the winter. Everyone's like, why don't you just move there full time? And it's because it's freezing here. And yes, I still love to be by the water. We like to come visit once in a while in the winter, but it's just not, it's not the same. It's the summer. It's all of that. It's, you know, being hot, making memories, have family visiting, just want to soak it up. There's also like local summer, which is like September and fall, in October, I meant to say. But we're so busy with soccer for all of the kids, and I'm not just going to pull them out of soccer because I want to have a longer summer. They need structure in that way. We love homeschooling, but you know, we want to keep the soccer for them because it's their favorite. So 3 out of 4 kids play travel, and Everly will be starting in-house soccer this year, which I cannot wait to see because she's a little beast from playing with her older siblings. But now we're moving into the downstairs bathroom. I'm going to wipe everything down as well as dust the lights and just really give everything a good scrub since this is the bathroom that everyone uses when they're downstairs. 4th of July here is insane. We don't have to leave our yard. There's fireworks everywhere. You can just see people setting off fireworks. We love it. It's so much fun, but it gets me thinking about how much stuff revolves around drinking. And this is a touchy subject because like 99% of people I know drink. This isn't saying anything bad about them. It's just saying how when I started focusing on my health and realizing things that make me feel terrible, drinking is one of them. So I wanted to have a drink with my girlfriend the other day on the boat. So I had one tequila seltzer. It was like a high noon or whatever. And I didn't sleep the entire night. 3 p.m. that was. I could not sleep until 3 a.m. My heart was just racing from coming off of this little bit of alcohol. And I talked to my functional doctor about it, and he said alcohol is just not good for you in general. Like, none of us here drink, but it could be your blood sugar, it could be because of how small you are, it could be because you're detoxing and your detox pathways are open, this, that, and the other. but it just stinks because I love my margaritas. So I don't know. Everyone around here for 4th of July just gets completely hammered, and I know that's like a normal thing, but that's to say, like, the people around us. My husband, he's the same way. Like, he'll have like a drink to max. He doesn't like how it makes him feel either. But I do miss having like a margarita. I think I need to find like some good mocktail recipes. I'm the kind of person that I don't need to be drunk to have fun. I'm already just like ridiculous when I'm sober. So I just still miss being able to like have a beverage. I told Chris I still want to try like my organic wine that I get. It's sulfate free and organic, and I feel like that might be better, like a half a glass of that. Just, people like to have a drink once in a while and just relax. My favorite thing to have a drink is like when we're going out to eat. I love like a yummy drink. It's not ever like to feel drunk either. Like, I love obviously a good margarita with salt. And I also love an extra dirty martini, which I know grosses a lot of people out. But what are your thoughts on drinking? I know drinking is like way down. I was looking at statistics, and again, it's not to judge. It's like, how is it making you feel as you get older? Is it harder for you to drink, or is it just me? You might be 37 if little trash bags make you happy that fit your little garbages. Literally, these little trash bags make me happy instead of putting giant trash bags in there or having no trash bags. It's silly, but it's one of those things that makes me feel like I have my life together. So I actually got like this Murphy's oil, whatever it is, last summer to wipe down like any like wood surfaces that needed to be cleaned. And I really liked using that on the bathroom floor because, if you have boys, the bathroom floor needs extra love. It's not just a quick vacuum and mop. You really need to get down there and scrub. So it does smell like a lemon scent in there. Plus I put peppermint oil in the diffuser, which makes it way better. And when I'm done cleaning, I'm going to do overviews of every spot that's nice and clean. But I was doing laundry and I was cleaning the bathroom, and everything in the dishwasher is done. So I'm just putting all that away and drying anything that needs to be dried because the dishwasher doesn't dry very well. All right, just putting these last little bit of dishes away, and then we are officially done with the kitchen. We're done sweeping the ocean. We are done cleaning the kitchen, and I'm so happy. It looks so good. When I woke up this morning, I re-vacuumed and everything after the kids had breakfast, and just trying my best to keep it tidy and teach the kids how to just clean up after themselves. I always tell them, I'm not asking you to clean anything that's not yours. Just clean up after your own mess, and my life will be so much easier. Here are some overviews before we get headed upstairs. Before we get upstairs, I'm going to wipe down each stair with this Murphy's cleaner, and you're going to be amazed at what came off. This is probably the most satisfying and feels so much cleaner than it was. But first, here are some of the reviews. All right, so we are taking it stair by stair, just hand cleaning everything. I've thought about like getting like the little rugs on here and stuff, and I'm just like, for right now, if they're not too slippery, which they're not, even with the oil, it didn't make them slippery because, you know, I'm crazy ex-NICU nurse, crazy mom that always thinks about my kids' like safety with stuff like this. But anyway, just make sure it's not greasy. It was not for me. It was completely, it's like the wood soaked it up. But we thought about getting little rugs on here, and I just see them getting like so dirty and full of sand that they just make more mess. So that's why I'm leaving them like this so far. But I do really want to be able to go ahead and like maybe sand these and restain them at some point, but it's not on my priority list for this summer. Doing a quick vacuum. So this is one of my priorities for the winter. We did get a quote for getting hardwood floors all throughout upstairs, and I really want that done. And I really want to get the popcorn ceilings taken down. The main two reasons is not just aesthetics, although that is part of it. It is that they carry so much dust, especially not being here. The popcorn ceilings, we had the vents professionally cleaned and the air ducts and stuff because of like the, you know, it's an older home and the dust and sitting and all of that. And while taking the vents down, it made some of the popcorn ceilings start to fall down, and that just, you see that getting dusty, and I just don't think it's healthy. So those are my two big things. I want those done, but those are things that we're going to need to be professionally done. Also, I'm just showing you here that I do not clean my kids' rooms. They clean their rooms every day. You saw what it looked like, and they came in and cleaned their rooms, but I will go ahead and wipe things down for them and vacuum, so that's exactly what we're doing. So I'm actually hoping to do the boys' room this summer, whether that's July or August, I'm not sure, but let me know what you guys think about this. I know they're still young, but they said they wouldn't mind getting one like larger bed in here to share a bed instead of these twin beds. So I'm thinking about that, but I also think we could fit 2 fulls in here. So that is on our list to do. And then I just want to paint this tan wall. Like I think they want to paint it like a blue color just freshen it up. You'll see there's also like this alcove that used to be like their gaming spot. There's like a couch in there and a desk. Well, it is still like their gaming spot, but it's not the vibe, and it feels cluttered, and it feels like things don't match. And so I'm going to get rid of the couch in there, and just maybe like make a little setup over there. I don't know, but their room doesn't feel cohesive. It feels thrown together, and that just makes me feel, I don't know. They like it, but they also are ready for a change. But I just need things to be like organized and cohesive. You see how my Tanner, he loves his stuffies and he loves his toys, so I don't make them put them away. I let him keep them out. That's his style. That's why at home Carter has his own room now, because Carter is very like minimal, doesn't like stuff everywhere, whereas Tanner is like, he likes his toys and his stuffies on display. And definitely this fall, we're going to redo Tanner's room at home, get rid of his bunk bed, get him one big bed. I really want to get him a drawing desk, like a little setup, because he's my little artist. Yes, I love all my kids' artwork, but he has the most interest in it, and it's his biggest hobby, that and soccer. So he needs a drawing desk, and he really wants one. So I want to make that happen for him sometime this fall. This bathroom is also on the priority list for me, because not only is it the kids' bathroom, but it's where guests want to where they do shower. I was gonna say where they want to shower, where they shower if they're here, if they're not using the outside shower. My personal favorite is I love taking an outdoor shower. It's so nice and relaxing, even though it's just like an old crusty outdoor shower. But eventually we're gonna completely redo this bathroom. But right now, this summer, I'm thinking about just spray painting the vanity myself, and just doing some cosmetic things before we go ahead and redo the whole thing, just to make it cozier for now. You'll see later when I actually clean this cabinet, it's like falling apart basically. It's old. The cabinet itself is just like lopsided, like it needs some tightening. And I also want to just get like new pools and possibly spray paint it. I've been talking about this for years, but I finally got Chris to agree that he also thinks we should do it soon. So if you have any ideas, let me know what you think would work best in here. If you've ever spray painted your vanity before, I'm not talking about like the top of it, I'm talking about like the wood part. I don't think there's anything I could really do for the top of it. One of the weirdest things about this bathroom to me is that there's no airflow. So it can smell like boys pee if you don't clean it all the time. But yeah, sometimes I'll like go ahead and throw like a little fan in here just to like air it out, because there is no fan. I never understand that when there's like water and steam and all of that, like how there was never any like vent put in, but I don't know. So for right now, for this bathroom, we're just going to do cosmetic things to it and eventually get it redone. But when we're talking about paying somebody else to do something, before everything, we need to redo our front porch because it's literally falling apart. So we have to basically save up money and pick, where things are needed the most. We had a couple unexpected things happen this winter and also the summer. So this winter, a pipe burst here despite everything we did. Luckily, after months of going back and forth with the township, they reimbursed us for, I think it was like almost $2,000 for the pipe bursting, because we did do everything that we were supposed to do. It was just such an insane winter. So that was really nice. Thank you, God. But when we went home this past month, our washer broke and everything was leaking downstairs. And now there's going to be like a bunch of drywall that needs to be fixed and painted, the ceilings and all of that. So, that you got to pick and choose where you spend your money. And prioritize. There, you might not be able to do it the way that you initially wanted to do it. This is me telling myself that. But eventually everything will get done, and regardless, we're still so blessed. So I'm just spraying the floors with thieves cleaner. That's also what's in here, but I needed a lot of love, so I decided to do an initial spray before as well. Young Living just recently came out with these new like hand soap dispensers and like a concentrate. So I'm putting this lemon hand soap in here, and then we are officially done in this bathroom. I do go ahead and set the fan up in here, let it air out, but it smells and feels nice and clean in here. Back to my bedroom. Chris is helping me make this bed, and then we're just going to wipe everything down, vacuum, do all that stuff, and then we'll get to the bathroom in here. I love this mirror, but sometimes it feels like a lost cause for two reasons. First reason is that the kids just come in here and look at themselves and like put their hands all over it. And the second reason is because wherever it is, there's like a skylight right above it and a light coming in front of it. So every time I look in the mirror, it's like terrifying because it shows every little ounce of cellulite, indent, imperfection. Whatever the lighting is doing is so messed up, and I told Chris, I'm like, can we figure out a different place to put this mirror? If I like look at myself in the mirror in the girls' bedroom without the lighting coming from every angle, I'm like, okay. But when I do it in this bedroom, it's like, sit down, girl, be humble. Collecting these little trash bags, and that's a little boob cover that was like not sticky anymore. And putting in my nice little tiny trash bags that make me happy. And I put some lavender essential oil in the bottom of each trash can to make it smell better. Moving on to my bathroom, I don't have a lot of space in here, so I decided to, usually on the back of the toilet, we add extra toilet paper, but I think I'm going to get one of the ones like we have at home that like sits on the ground to hold extra toilet paper, because I need that basket to like add beauty products and stuff like that in. You see that little thing on the side of my toilet? I realized after that I had it in the wrong way because I just found it again, because we like deep clean the toilets and stuff, so I took it out. I do realize that the light's on the wrong side, so I do switch it around, but a lot of times if the kids wake up, they'll wander into my bathroom, and so I like to have this little night light in there, and I'll show you that at the end as well. Who here saw the video of me fighting for my life with these shower curtain hooks? They're pretty, but they're so annoying, and I finally got the little mermaid hooks that I showed you in one of my other videos, so me and Ella are going to work together to put these hooks on. I love them, so cute. Now the girls want them in their bathroom too, so I'm gonna have to get them some. And I don't think the boys are mind at all either. Maybe there's some that are like mermaid and starfish or something like that. But now it's time to just quickly wipe this down with the rest of my Thieves. We went through a half a bottle of Thieves cleaner today. Just wiping this down, and then what am I doing next? Oh, and then Ella's gonna go ahead and mop. If you haven't noticed, she loves being in my videos. She loves helping. She's basically like my shadow. Everly is like my snuggle bug and wants to know where her mommy is at all times, and then Ella is like wants to be involved with everything that I do, and I absolutely love it, and I hope she stays that way forever. Finally, just finishing off with a vacuum, and even if your floors look clean, don't forget to vacuum, especially if you have rugs, because I'm always amazed at how much is in the vacuum after I vacuum, because it looks like nothing in here, and then I'll see it's like full of dust. So it is so important to vacuum. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. You can clean your entire house in a day, even if it does take you all day. I did take some breaks and hang outside with the kids here and there, but it was nice to get everything done at once for our guests coming. And Ella wanted to show you how pretty outside was with all of the lights, and it's just so relaxing. And I hope that you guys have an amazing 4th of July. And I will not be uploading on Sunday. I'm taking a day off on July 6th. But again, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate every comment, every like, and every share.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find the light in your soul, I'll be there. Never leaving you in the darkness, even when you're out of focus. I will be the light in your life, you'll see it clear. I'll be your inspiration.